It's the Brad Field Weather Podcast, underwritten by Action Carpet and Floor Covering of Simsbury, voted among the best in its field 5 straight years in Hartford Magazine's Best Of survey. I am Dan Lovallo. He is meteorologist Brad Field. We are putting this podcast together on Saturday, October 10th. Couple of days later than usual, Brad, because in your neck of the woods in Connecticut, there was some wind damage, high winds that led to interruptions on your internet service.
Dan, it was mostly up in Massachusetts and points north from there, but there was some very intermittent activity on the internet here, and it kind of knocked me off for the Thursday. You know, I've got my little routine. I get the coffee brewing, and then I come downstairs and get on my iPad and start taking notes for the podcast. But I couldn't really do that. I had to try to get the data on my phone, and I said, nothing big's happening around here. I'll give Dan a call, and we'll push it off a day or two. So here we are on Saturday. But I'll tell you, Dan, if the folks out there have their favorite pair of summer shorts or their favorite short sleeve shirt or whatever, today is the day to wear it.
It is amazing how high our temperature is going to go today on this October 10th. What's up? How come we're getting this warm weather?
Well, most of the computer modeling today, Dan, says 77 for the high temperature reading at Bradley. So, if we get up to that, it's just going to be such a beautiful, beautiful day. We are in advance of a strong cold front, and that strong cold front is actually going to start to produce some severe weather today in northern New England. We're talking places like upstate New York. We're talking about Vermont. We're talking about central and northern New Hampshire. We're talking about extreme northwest Maine. Dan, you have put the Severe Prediction Center link on the bradfieldweather.com website. So I asked the folks to go there today to take a look if you're curious about this. I know one of my buddies is going up there to try to storm chase up into Vermont today because there's a 2% chance of a tornado in northern New England today, 15% chance of damaging wind. Now, that is not for Connecticut. That is for northern New England. That front will come through weakened overnight tonight, but that front is going to play a real big role in our weather. So for the Columbus Day holiday weekend, Dan, we're going from the 70s today. And again, we're recording this podcast on Saturday, October 10th. 70s today, 60s tomorrow, kind of a transient day, and then only 50s during the day on Monday. So that cold front playing a significant role in our weather this weekend, and also, Dan, the remnants of what was Hurricane Delta.
Okay, this is fascinating because you have to ask if this weather that you're talking about, this severe weather, will seep somewhat into our region today.
I do not think so, Dan. The front is too far displaced to the north, and the what we call the upper level dynamics with the system, more up with the jet stream, which is running across southern sections of Canada. So I expect that most of the severe weather will be displaced to our north. I did see the late afternoon talking between, say, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., that time frame today, there was a 10% chance of a thunderstorm down to the Massachusetts-Connecticut border. But the probability of thunderstorms really ramps up as you go into northern sections of New England. And I know what you're probably alluding to. You're probably alluding to the Windsor Locks tornado back in the late 1970s that occurred in October.
Yes, and, it's fascinating because you don't expect this kind of weather when you're into October, but we can get it. In fact, because of the disparity as the atmosphere begins to change this time of year, we're at times we're prone to some extreme weather, aren't we?
Right. The jet is coming south, It's coming south now, and when the jet is over our latitude, it can evacuate air from the upper atmosphere quickly, and by evacuating air from the upper atmosphere, you can get strong upward motion. That is going to happen today, but it's more up toward the northern New England Canada border than here. But there's a good chance of severe weather up in northern New England today, more in line with where the jet is up across northern New England. But we've got all sorts of things happening here, that cold front limping through, and then the remnants of Delta kind of linking up and coming up and then getting kind of shunted east by the cold front that will have come through. So I do expect a good amount of rain, and we really, really need it. I'm expecting that good amount of rain in the Monday to Monday night time frame, Dan. Could be a good dousing of 1.25 inches to maybe 2.5 inches. And I was looking at some of the computer modeling, giving an outside chance, let's call it high end, of 2 to 3 inches of rain. But you get the point. It's going to be a good storm. We're going to be on the cold side of the front, the remnants of Delta coming. So that's why Columbus Day Monday, hope you don't have any plans except to stay indoors. It's going to be rainy, it's going to be breezy, and it's going to be, we'll call it cold for this time of year, with temperatures only in the 50s. And, I like to look at the new National Weather Service products of chance of 1 inch of rain plus is 60 to 70% for Waterbury, New Haven, New London, and about 50-50 up here across northern Connecticut. Chance of 2 inches plus, Dan, about 1 in 3 for southwestern Connecticut, with the highest I saw probability of 2 inches or more of rain around Bridgeport. So this looks like a good soaker coming in. Again, Saturday is the great day. Sunday is the transitional day. We'll call it partly sunny. And then Monday is the real clunker in the bunch.
The Bradfield Weather Podcast is underwritten by Action Carpet and Floor Covering of Simsbury.
I want to take a moment to talk about Action Carpet and Floor Covering of Simsbury, underwriters of the Bradfield Weather Podcast. Voted first runner-up 5 straight years in Hartford Magazine's Best of Survey. Action Carpet and Floor Covering is a full-service, family-run floor company offering everything from brand-name floor covering products to professional installation and cleaning services. Since 1993, Action Carpet and Floor Covering has served both residential and commercial customers throughout Connecticut and beyond. For Action Carpet and Floor Covering, no job is too small. Action Carpet and Floor Covering values all of its customers regardless of the size of the project. Action Carpet and Floor Covering was founded in 1993 by Kevin Blake, and it has always been the mission of Action Carpet and Floor Covering to understand customers' individual flooring needs and to help them realize all of their options. Here's what you need to know about Action Carpet and Floor Covering. Action Carpet and Floor Covering aims to assist in making an informed flooring purchase that will suit a customer's budget requirements and lifestyles. Action Carpet and Floor Covering, building relationships of trust and comfort. Call Action Carpet and Floor Covering today at 860-651-8406, 860-651-8406, or go online, action-carpet.com. That's action-carpet.com. When we did the podcast last week, the tropics at the moment were quiet, but then it seemed as if they flared up once we were done with the podcast. It's a reminder that hurricane season is not over, and then we saw what happened right after that, and here we are talking about Delta and how we'll be affected by Delta on Monday into Tuesday.
Yeah, the weird thing about Delta, Dan, is we're into the Greek alphabet, and this is only the second time that this has happened. And the United States mainland this season, did not check the statistic on it, but I think this is the 10th time the United States mainland has been hit by, there's been a landfalling tropical storm or hurricane so far this year. And those poor folks in southwest Louisiana, they were just hit by Laura. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't think it's Laura. I think it's like Laura or something like that. But it was hit by that just a few weeks back, and now here comes Delta coming across the same region. And what they were concerned with, Dan, is a really odd concern, but when you think about it, it makes sense. Everybody was cleaning up from the first hurricane, Laura, and they had piles of debris that, they were hoping that the Department of Public Works would come around and pick up and take it away. They had it all piled in their front yards right along the roadways, and they were concerned like crazy that this debris would become missiles when Delta came through. Now, luckily, I should say, of course, Delta caused a lot of damage when it came ashore in southwest Louisiana. But thankfully, it was weakening quite rapidly as it was coming ashore. It was still a Category 2, but, you have to kind of wait for the light of day to see what kind of damage. And as of this point, I have not seen any video on what kind of damage was caused. But, of course, Delta made landfall last evening along the southwest Louisiana coast. Right now, the remnants are over Mississippi. What we're seeing is a 40-mile-per-hour sustained wind right now into the Mississippi area, and this is when we're on the weather map segment. This is exactly what we're going to track. We're going to track Delta and where it's going.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's get to our on the weather map segment and what we can expect as far as Delta's path, and then afterwards.
All right. Well, you said today, what's causing this warm air? Well, we're getting a whoosh of warm air into southern New England right ahead of the cold front. We've got a cold front approaching from upstate New York. And again, that'll give the severe weather to northern New England later today. And I would invite anybody who's interested to take a look at the SPC link that we have provided at bradfieldweather.com. So you go on and you can link up there and you can see that there's a possibility of tornado and also a possibility of straight-line wind damage today up in northern New England. Now, Delta is in Mississippi, and it's moving north-northeast at about 16 miles per hour, sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. And what we're expecting for Sunday morning is for the cold front to be off the southern New England coast. So it looks like a nice day here, but a little bit cooler. Instead of 70s tomorrow, it'll be 60s. The high over Ontario province and the remnants of Delta moving into Tennessee. So now you can see here's the situation. The cold front is off the southern New England coast. So now we're on the cold side of the front. The remnants of Delta are coming into Tennessee. Now, by Monday morning, that high is anchored up over northern Maine, the remnants of Delta on the Ohio-West Virginia border, and we're going to see rain spreading southwest to northeast into Connecticut. Now, if we projected ourselves out 2 months, Dan, if this were mid-December instead of mid-October, I would be predicting a major snowstorm on Monday and Monday night, because this is a classic track. It's what you want to see. You've got cold high pressure to the north, which keeps the cold air locked into southern New England. You've got the storm taking the track and moving under us, in other words, south of New England as it comes up. You put the two together, the circulation around the high to the north, the circulation around the low to the south. You got a northeast wind flow, the northerly wind bringing in the cold air, the easterly wind bringing in the moisture off the ocean, and voila, that is the recipe for a snowstorm here. So as it turns out, being only mid-October, I'm predicting a cold rain on Monday. That remnant low, what's left of Delta, is going to be parked over Long Island on Tuesday morning. And we've got a high we'll be building in from the Ohio Valley building to the east. So that's going to shove the remnants of Delta out to sea. So I do think Monday the rain arrives southwest to northeast across the state. It really starts raining heavily late Monday afternoon and Monday night. And then Tuesday morning, the rain is kind of winding down, and by lunchtime, it should be pretty much over. Then the rest of next week looks pretty good. Wednesday morning, that high will be over western Kentucky, giving us some nice weather here, fairly mild. Thursday, high off the southern New England coast to Georgia, giving us a southwesterly flow and mild weather on Thursday. But Friday, it looks like a 1-2 punch coming in from a cold front will be passing through with some scattered showers, and a reinforcing cold front coming in from the Great Lakes. And I looked at next Saturday, Dan, so that would be Saturday, October 17th, and I saw the 2 p.m. temperature in Hartford, which is roughly around when the high temperature occurs, of 51. So it does definitely look like it's going to be much colder next weekend.
Wow. Well, it seems hard to believe, but as we go into next week, we will be reaching the midpoint of October. So look into your crystal ball. What does the second half of the month look like?
Well, that's correct. We're going to start with Thursday, October 15th for the crystal ball segment, Dan, and work out till Friday, October 23rd. And, I think snow lovers will like this because just giving a little teaser, we are having our winter forecast. We've already picked a date. We're releasing it on our podcast, which will be done on Thursday, October 29th, will be the winter forecast. But when you get this kind of setup that we're starting to see setting up, if you're a meteorologist and you like snow, and I can check both those boxes there, your eyes start to light up because you've got ridging in the west, you've got troughing in the central part of the country in the Ohio Valley, and you've got a storm track along the eastern seaboard with a ridge in the western Atlantic. So it looks October 15th through October 23rd, it looks warmest with respect to average out west, places like California, Arizona, New Mexico, southern Nevada, southern Utah. Under that ridge, it looks warm and it looks dry. It looks coolest with respect to average, kind of nosing into Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the western Great Lakes, through Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. That's where the cold air will reside. How does that leave us? It leaves us locally about average with respect to what normal temperatures are. And it looks like above normal precipitation kind of running with the jet right along the northern tier of the United States, kind of on the U.S. Canada border. And so I'm looking for maybe, Dan, maybe this what we're going to see from Delta will be the beginning of the end of the drought of 2020.
Okay, well, there's and there is a drought. I mean, certain areas of Connecticut are facing, most of Connecticut or all of Connecticut, but certain areas particularly are facing some major drought problems, aren't they?
And yes, and what I wanted to add on this, Dan, is we need to hope that we get some very beneficial rain before the ground freezes, because if the ground freezes, and then the rain cannot percolate into the soil and rather runs off, runs down streets and into storm drains and whatever. That's not good either. We want the soil moisture to rise. We want the water to be able to percolate down to the water table. Get the well levels up higher in the area before we head into the dead of winter and everything's frozen in place on the surface. So I did read some articles that we can go into more detail some other time. But with regard to if we have another dry summer next year, watch out. Because you can the water table can survive a year or so like this, but it cannot survive multiple years in succession like this.
Wow. Well, on that note, it looks as if we will be getting some rain on Monday. And as we wrap up the podcast, how about giving us the forecast? And again, we're putting this together on Saturday, October 10th.
Dan, this afternoon could not be nicer, in my opinion. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be quite breezy. We'll call it even breezy to windy, but it will be warm with temperatures way up into the 70s. I wouldn't be shocked if someone hits 80, but I don't think so. Then overnight tonight, that cold front up in northern New England causing the severe weather today could touch off a shower or thunder shower overnight here. Temperatures in the 50s all night long. Tomorrow, mixed sun and clouds for Sunday. Temperatures in the 60s. Those clouds will be thickening up on Sunday night. So again, Saturday and Sunday are looking fine. But then on Monday, Columbus Day, we will see rain developing from southwest to northeast across Connecticut during the morning and midday. It's going to be chilly, temperatures only in the 50s, rain possibly heavy at times Monday night. Most of us getting a solid 1.25 to 2.5 inches of rain. But remember, I said the high end of the rain is 2 to 3 inches. Rain should be ending on Tuesday morning. Temperatures in the 60s. Wednesday and Thursday looking nice. Mostly sunny both days. Temperatures 66 to 72 both days. Then Friday, we've got the cold fronts coming through. Variable clouds with some scattered showers and cooler. Temperature near 60, but much colder next weekend. If I had to predict now, I'd say a week from today, Saturday, October 17th, some places in Connecticut, Dan, especially out your way, might not get out of the 40s. So we've got kind of a rude awakening coming, so it makes you enjoy today all that much more.
You got that right. And as always, before we wrap up our podcast, Brad, we like to thank our first responders who are on the front line, and particularly with COVID-19 apparently making a comeback, we thank everybody who are the first responders and on the front lines for all that they do for us. And to you and Sandy and to our podcast audience, have a great extended holiday weekend.
Yes, enjoy the weekend, Dan, you and Susan and all our podcast audience. And we will talk to you, hopefully no internet problems, hopefully talk to you Thursday or Friday of next week.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Brad. The Brad Field Weather Podcast, underwritten by Action Carpet and Floor Covering of Simsbury, voted among the best in its field 5 straight years in Hartford Magazine's Best of Survey.